Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? I'm so happy to see y'all here. If you're not here, we're gonna wait until you get in here, or we'll jump on it. Y'all can always watch the replay, but I just wanted to say hello, hello, hello. And if you're on my email list, then I just sent you an email and told you that I was gonna go live. So here I am, like following my word. It's been busy, busy time, so I really couldn't even like, tell you guys like, oh, this is what I'm doing at this time. Child was not sure at all. So here we are. We're gonna go live. We're gonna talk about a few things tonight, and I don't want y'all to feel like you can't ask questions. You absolutely can ask, like whatever question you like to ask. I'm gonna kind of keep it focused on a few areas because I think these are some areas we all need to know. And like one area I want to definitely focus on is the HR certification study notes. I'm so happy that this is HR's what, fourth or fifth year? Fourth year, I believe. Maybe fifth. Recreating the HR certification study notes. And I'm happy, happy, happy. There are a few things we're gonna talk about with that. But I also want you guys to know that if you have questions about anything else, you're more than welcome to ask. When you come in the chat, it'd be great if y'all can tell me like your state you're located in. That'd be good to know. Um, and then we're also going to talk about how does Trump the executive orders that Trump has signed, how has it affected the workplace? And then obviously you guys always ask me questions about starting your career. So, I'm always game for that, y'all. Like, I'm here. If that's what y'all want to talk about, we absolutely can. I have no problem with it at all. And let me see, what do we have going on? Oh man, y'all in the chat, child. Hello, hello. Hey, Brandy, the emerging Esquire. Hello. Hey, Crystal Jackson, what's going on? Alrighty. Oh, you need to see me, Brandy? Man, Brandy, you making me nervous. What happened, girl? Hey, Valerie. Does your website have your coaching rates? That's a good question because right now, like when I'm creating a new notes, I literally will stop the any services like until I get all done. Um, so let's see, because it'll open next month. Like, if you guys are on my email list or follow me on socials and y'all see me posting about it, I'm gonna be in Atlanta next week. I'll be doing a conference there, so I'll be there from just read my email and stuff. I think the second to the fourth, and so I'll be in Atlanta. When I get back the following week, then we'll open up career mentoring. So yeah, the prices that I'll have for April are on the website. Um, but honestly, those prices will increase. Excuse me, they'll increase. We got a big thing coming up later this year, and so those prices are gonna go up. So you definitely, excuse me, sorry y'all. I'm drinking a cold drink, and I got like gastric issues with like digestive issues, really not gastric, but digestive issues. The cold stuff messes me up, give me hiccups. I'm gonna be done with this in 2 seconds. But yes, it's on my website. It's on my site. You in Georgia, Jackson. Girl, I be liking Jackson because I be watching we used to watch the Dancing Girls, and then the other thing was the Bell Collective. Stay in Jackson, right? Am I right? Yeah, watch them girls too, they crazy. Florida. What part of Florida, Jerry? What's going on, Jerry? Houston, Texas in the house. Oh, I love Houston. I need to go back. I really enjoyed Houston. All right, hold on. Let me fix my screen because it's being shady and let me see all the comments. Okay. I'm applying for so many HR business partner positions and HR manager positions and not getting any responses. Girl, we can totally handle that. Um, because I always tell y'all, I'm gonna tell you again, if you're new here, you might not know, but I will tell you that like from working in HR for 13 years, 90% of the problem, and now I'm working as a direct career coach. Because I've done career coaching volunteering for like domestic violence shelters and stuff like that. Um, but I will tell you now as a career coach where I'm doing it like constantly, that's usually 90% of the problem. That interviewing skills, talking to your skills, knowing how to talk to HR, knowing how to talk about your transformations, and then obviously as minorities, confidence and imposter syndrome. So those are the biggest problems, but we can definitely get into that. So that would be the HR Pro program. Just get on my email list and I'll send you an email when it's open. Hey, oh, Brand, both of y'all from Jackson. What's up? That's good. All right, good. That's what's up. California. Oh, it's early for you. Jolie, I ain't got my glasses on. I brought them this time because I was like, they probably tired of hearing me talk about I ain't got my glasses on. All right. So Jolie, yes, Jolie, what part of California you in? I was just in California the the last weekend in February or the first weekend in March. I went to LA. Do you live in LA? Where do you live? Alrighty, Palm Bay, Florida, hour south of Orlando. Got it. Imposter syndrome is annoying, but you know, I believe that you got to get ready to people like to say, well, you can never get rid of imposter syndrome and blah, 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 right? I feel this way about imposter syndrome. You got to figure out how to put that stuff in the back seat. Until then, it's always either going to drive you into a direction or sit front seat for sure. And some of the ways to do that is literally to like understand your value, self-care, um, career validation, like being in a circle of professionals that know you, know how you work, and give you true feedback because they're gonna add and compliment. They're gonna help you see things you don't see in yourself, stuff like that. So yeah, alrighty. I'm a truck driver and retired veteran. Thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service for truck driving too, child. Because child, we need them things to be getting all. We be ordering too much online, so we need these truck drivers. We be playing with it. I'm lost on how to break into HR. Now that for you is going to be a little bit different. And for you, if you want to do it one-on-one with me, then that would be the EE to HR career mentoring, the first level to start your career. So EE is for employee and then HR. And then HR is for somebody who's already an HR professional. They want to go to professional status. But for you, I would need to look at your previous skills. Because yeah, there's some skills you can bring in from being a truck driver into HR. You just gotta not talk about it as a truck driver. You gotta talk about it as an HR professional. That makes sense? Because we all touch people in some way. HR is here for the people, right? So HR is here for the people. You would have to start in a lower level position, which can be rough as a truck driver because you'll be leaving that six-figure realm. So that can be a bit much, but we don't have as many men. Men are more confident. Men bring less drama in the workplace. I'm gonna just be real, like that be a real life issue. And I have literally seen men get hired because they're a man and know a little bit of something about HR. Because people be like, we need to balance out the hormones in here. So I do not tell people what they can't do because I remember when somebody was telling me that I couldn't do a job back in the day that I wanted to do. And when I got that job, I was like, oh shit, I gotta stop listening to people because people will tell you anything to kill your spirit child. East Valley. Am I saying that right? California. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Where's East Valley? All right. So let me dive into a few things while we on here. First things first. Oh, how many of y'all in here? So you mean to tell me it's around 20 of y'all in here and I got 0 thumbs up? Ain't nobody want to hit the like button? Okay, I ain't give no value. Let me give some value. So first things first that we're gonna talk about is the notes gonna be available tomorrow. So I'm gonna share my screen. This is why I'm a little bit delayed when I'm talking to you guys on the screen. Y'all might not know it, but I might respond to you kind of late because I'm using, instead of going straight in, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, I'm using Zoom. Because I'm gonna share my screen to show y'all what the notes look like inside. Show you how to move through that thing. Now this is crazy enough. This is still a draft because my whole process for getting the notes created is a little bit dynamic. And so I use someone that's in India to put all my notes together. I kind of make the notes in 3 parts. And then one part is added into it while the other 2 parts are like combined together. And then he does the whole part to make it interactive for me. And so he's been a little bit late on that, which threw me off because he always gets me done in like minutes. So I'm surprised it's taking him a couple days. But anyhow, and I've been multitasking like crazy while creating these notes because I'm still technically, well, I'm out of recovery now. I finally am going where I'm not really having any issues, but I started creating these notes while I was still in recovery from surgery. I'm gonna cut on the ceiling fan real quick, y'all, because I'm like hot in the shade, and I'm pretty sure it's just this weight, child. All right, um, so we are gonna have that, and I might cut on the AC because I just feel like my nose might start shining in a minute. So give me just a second, y'all. My bad. My bad. I'm coming. And so y'all might hear a little bit of humming. I usually cut it off when I'm recording. Alrighty. Okay, cool. So this is where we at. We'll leave that on like super cool, real high. So then it'll come real quick. But that's the thing. So the notes are gonna be out tomorrow. We got a little bit of an issue. When I'm flipping through, y'all might see it, but you might not. So we're gonna still flip through the draft that I have, but the final will be up by in the morning my time. It'll probably be up by before midnight my time. It'll be up before midnight by my time. By the time I get off live, they should be done, and then I can finish all I need to finish. So if you're not on my email list, you like, Tamika, I want another damn email. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I do it too. No worries. It'll be available for you on the 27th at full price, right? So you can pay the full 147. That's how much the notes are. Otherwise, you can wait one day later on Friday, and they're going to be at a discount. So for tomorrow, for all of my email folks, I already have a code that I'm going to send out to you guys. It's for 50% off. You're getting 50% off the rip. It's only a one-day code. So grab it while it's hot, because I done been telling y'all shouting across the moontop on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Pinterest, on IG. Only family and friends are on Facebook. Please don't send me no Facebook requests. I don't want you to think I'm being mean, but I don't accept them unless I know these people. So, but on there too, because they know people that want to start their career in HR. So I've been shouting this thing everywhere, even in videos. But I've been shouting about these notes nonstop that they're coming out. I do them every year. I've done them for 3-4 years. And so y'all already know that this discount is always short. So I just want you to know, you don't catch that 50% off as an email person on that one day, then you got to take 40% off with the rest of people with no code the next day. The 40% off is only going to be on Friday. Don't wake up Saturday morning and send me an email, but Tamika, I'm seeing this thing at full price. Child, I'm seeing it at full price too. So we got some buy now, pay later options you're welcome to use. But that's all we doing. That's all we doing. That's all we've been doing. We can stop doing these long courses. When I do them for a week and 2 weeks, y'all literally wait till 2 weeks later and come to me on the last day and wait till it expires and say, child, Mr. Code, can you give me a new code? We ain't doing that no more. One day code. So one day, email folks get the luxury of having it 2 days. It's just going to be a little slightly higher the second day, right? All right. So what I like about these notes, y'all, is they include a whole lot of things. And let me go ahead and get to the point where I can share my screen and show y'all what it's including. Here we go. It's already there. All right. So I like these notes so much. Over the years, I have worked so damn hard to like perfect these notes. I just get them better because I can't even lie to you. When I first started, these notes were just for me, right? It wasn't for anybody else. These notes were literally just for me. And so it took a lot of the first couple of years, it took a lot of like kind of putting it out there and seeing what happens. And then it also took, HR getting bigger and more resources becoming available to us and things like that. And so I'm so grateful that now I have a product that I'm so proud of. I probably didn't tell y'all on the old videos when I created the notes the first and second time that I was proud of them. But inside, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't lied. I was not super proud of them. I wasn't super proud of what my website looked like when I first started. But I feel like that's growing pains when you're creating a business, offering a service, offering a product. But I can't tell y'all no lie. With these notes right here, I'm super proud. And just FYI, this is a picture of Charleston's Bridge, one of our famous bridges. Now, this is a random picture, but I try to change it up this year. I said, I'm not putting my picture on the front. Let's see how y'all like it without my picture. Because, I just feel like every year I do my picture. But anyhow, we skip on down. So we go through quite a few things. One of the things is I want y'all to pay attention that this thing says on most of the pages that have like clickable links, it says click to see. So you can click on like heyhr.com or any of those that take you directly to my socials. tell you a little bit about the history, but it also you can click like on these sections and go directly to the page. So I absolutely love that because I feel like that was a much needed feature. Like while you studying, who wants to keep scrolling back? So you can like click on these things and go directly where you want to go. Any part of the table of contents. And if I click on like an actual section, right, then it's going to take me to the beginning of that chapter versus if I click on like, you know, an actual like tiny section. If I just click on a heading, it'll take me to that section. So I love that. These are notes, but everybody don't think like how I think when we do short notes. Just like people be sending you text messages, you be like, "What that mean?" Well, or maybe it's just the auntie of me. But because I use short words, I kind of told y'all what those short words mean throughout there to make them really concise for you. Some of these professional acronyms you need to know, they're there. But I also put these videos and you can click on the video and go directly to the video so that you can watch whatever video going to give you clarity. Same thing for the additional resources. We got some additional resources y'all can use. I tell everybody, people will send me an email and be like, so Tamika, can I use your notes alone and pass the exam? My integrity says I'm never going to tell somebody yes. I'll never tell you, yeah, girl, you can use it because that's a lie. I wouldn't say it's a lie, but everybody studies and learn differently. What I will say is that for the most part, I really want y'all to have more than one resource because most times it's just getting it from a different angle that helps. Another thing is I personally am a big fan of Momotrix. Now I love HRCP too. I love HRCP for HR certification prep, but because it has SHRM and HRCI. So if you're taking any SHRM, CP or SCP, the material is there. But if you're taking APHR, PHR, SPHR, it's there too. So I love that for that. But Momotrix has practice tests, and I think that's the best way to know how your studying is going. So I'm a big fan of Momotrix. Y'all be wanting these flashcards. Mind you, I made my flashcards longhand from these notes. But you know, for the folks who ain't got time, child, click right here and grab your flashcards. You got more practice tests with Exam Edge. Either one works. I always tell people take a practice test before you start studying so you can get like a baseline. When you get like you done going through all the material at least one time or you get halfway through studying, go back and check out that section. That section goes well or you get a higher number. Let's say you started at and your first score was like a 40 something. Now you test yourself and it's like a 60 something. Cool. Go ahead back and finish studying. Let's say you're going to take it one more time because I always say 3 times. One in the beginning of your studying, before you study, in the middle, and at the end. Let's say you go take the practice test again and you only got a 70 something. You're like, oh my God, I ain't gonna pass the test. No. That's showing improvement. You absolutely can pass the test. I never got a 100% score on any of these practice tests. The goal is to understand the information, but not memorize these exam questions because they're practice exam questions and probably won't be the questions that's on the exam. Like 20 times out of 10, they're not going to be what you're looking for. So same thing here. You know, you get to chapter 1, you can just click on a section and I just recorded the video. My plan is to have that up at some point tomorrow. Because I want y'all to make an informed decision. There are not very many changes, but one change was inclusion and diversity. They no longer call it DEI, now they call it inclusion and diversity. So we can click on that and get straight to that section. You know what I'm saying? And they still got all the equity stuff in there. And like I told people, like I recorded on the video just a minute ago, right before I got on with y'all. For that section, it still explains all 3 parts of diversity, equity, and inclusion and the subtitles. But this is where it takes me into Trump. Because and that's pretty much all I'm gonna show y'all from these exams, from these notes. If you got any issues with anything, you kind of forget how to find Tamika. I mean, I would say send a reply on your receipt email. But all of my there are additional videos at the end that you can find helpful. But all of my contact information is right at the end. So feel free to like use any of these links to get a hold of me. I say IG and LinkedIn are the best for right now. Like my LinkedIn is overwhelmed. So the absolute best thing is just to reply to the email. That's the absolute best thing. But y'all be liking to go on social media and send me a message, child. IG is pretty good, but it'll put you in like that box that I gotta go check each time. And LinkedIn is just overwhelmed with so many sales or just people commenting and LinkedIn kind of make you feel like you got to send a comment before you connect. Child, I'll connect without needing a comment. But anyhow, that's where we at. Okay, let me see what y'all saying in the chat because I feel so weird when I can't see what y'all talking about. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're so welcome, Elizabeth. Crystal. Listen, if you done with the administration, well, what's your job title? Because are you ready to go into people and culture? But people and culture the same thing. I guess you're more ready to go into the employee engagement side. Even an employee engagement child, HR is just an admin job. If you don't like doing any admin stuff, you might be in the wrong career. We're gonna push paper all day long. In any area of HR, but maybe you're talking about entry level position. Hello, Jacqueline. Oh, we got two Jacquelines. Hey, Jacqueline M. Hey, Jack. Oh, Jasmine. Jasmine Baker. It's the same, Jackie. I don't know. Maybe at her company it's different. That some of them people call them things different names to throw people off. Um. Well, Brandy, what you doing? What? How y'all upset with the? Now, if y'all feeling some type of way about the admin side, now you in a jam because you're gonna have to sit down and rethink this career. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, man, I'm so much better now. Like, surgery was a lot. I hate to talk bad about these people, but I need to tell the truth and shame the devil because I live in South Carolina, where we have Medical University of South Carolina, very prestigious, you know, school and hospital. Um, and I went to them literally all my life. But when I had the surgery for my fibroids, because the surgery I just had was to remove those huge fibroids. So when I had the surgery to remove the fibroids, that was like my fourth surgery. All of my other surgeries happened at another hospital here. That's a distance away from MUSC. They treated me with the best care. All of my other friends were like, "No, you should go to this other hospital." Um, but I was already stuck on that doctor, and I was like, "I'm going to this doctor," and all is well. But when I tell you, we talked about everything that can go right and wrong, and I told them like, "Hey, not only does my body not respond well to anesthesia, and I know that because I've already had 3 other surgeries, right, or 4 other surgeries. But I also said, hey, when we do surgery needles and surgery medicine, I'm prone to get a blood clot. Had 2 of them already in my life. Told them this already. I get out of surgery to not only my whole right leg being numb for a week, but also I get home at midnight from surgery because I don't leave the hospital till 10 o'clock. We got to run across the city, get medication, all this stuff. Finally get in my bed at midnight. 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up crying like a baby. It felt like fire was up and down my arm. And I rushed to the ER at 4 a.m. only to find out that they had blown my vein. My doctor was like, "Girl, I wish none of this had happened." She was like, "But I'd rather you had a damn blood clot." She was like, "Because that blown vein is 10 times more pain than a blood clot." So anyhow, couldn't use my right arm, or it was so weak and so painful that it cleared up around the same time that my leg cleared up. But my mom, my aunt, my girlfriend, Tara, she might be in the chat. They literally, the nurses, when I went to the ER, they literally had to help me get out the bed. Like we were picking up my leg, like I was paralyzed. Um, help me get to the bathroom, help me declothed everything in order to use the bathroom, help me put a bowel back up. It was rough that first week. So I thank you so much for saying that because honestly, that was something that made me feel like maybe being an entrepreneur is not for me because I had sent several emails, did videos, did posts telling everyone, hey, I'm gonna go out, I gotta have surgery, da da da. And I still got people, some of them long-term subscribers, ironically, that I knew. That was still like, hey, I need this. Hey, I bought this and I can't do this. Hey, well, when the hell I'm supposed to recover? I live alone. My mother is beyond 70 years old. She's on a cane. My aunt is taking care of me and other family members. There's no one in my house. My daughter works. Child, anyhow, it just had me all in my feels. I was like, hell with Heyyy HR and hell with some of these friends because I can't understand the friends that's calling me like, yo, let's party. Hey, what you doing this weekend? Hey, child, I almost died. I can't even move my leg. What are you talking about? Could you like drop off some bottled water to the door? Like, you mind helping me get to the bathroom? Like, ask me how you can help me. But please don't come in with the foolishness. Because my circle knew I was going into surgery. And so I was like, you know what? We reevaluating these damn friends too. Anyhow, um, greetings. Uh-oh, where am I? Uh-oh. But thank you, Elizabeth. My bad. I didn't mean to vent like that. But I feel like y'all should know, man, what I got going on. Because I appreciate y'all. I don't want to be like fake. I feel like my videos are already so structured. Like I really want to like share more of myself, but the internet's so dirty. Like the comments be mean that I'm like, maybe not. Like I like my life. It's peaceful. I don't need strangers killing me. They already do it. I would have strangers who upset, especially with them DEI videos. The comments were ridiculous. They got jump on my email list, sending me emails, cursing me out my name. Go to my socials, send me DMs, cursing me out my name, child. And I said, Lord, I just don't be feeling like that because I live a pretty peaceful life. South Florida, I love going to South Florida. I'm so mad. Well, I'm not mad, but I kind of miss my friend not living down there anymore because I used to go visit him. All right, hold up. Crystal had a big comment. Yes, you're making an impact, engaging with employees on a different level instead of onboarding, FMLA management, updating personal information, managing the HRIS. Um, so what's going to be different if you go? If this is this people and culture like your engagement department in HR? I'm assuming that's employee engagement. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Crystal. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are two things I worry about what folks that want to go into strictly employee engagement. There are three things. The absolute first thing I worry about with people that want to go into employee engagement is I need you to know that when we start doing layoffs, employee engagement be the first to go. The impact is not um given so much a high enough ROI to the company. So you don't really have job security if you just want to work in employee engagement, unless you work for a massive company. And those employee engagement only positions already come so scarce. The job search is going to always be difficult to stay in that. The second thing is with just employee engagement, I think it's always great to still know all parts of HR because how do you know how to really impact your employees? Not only all parts of HR, but you need to know all parts of that company. How do they function? Which departments work together? Because that's how you get them engaged. And then the last thing is I always just feel like employee engagement is a party planner. Like you may as well go ahead and start your business as an event planner. Why work in HR? That's what people be thinking, child. I had too much of that experience. So that sounds fun and all, but I don't know. I don't I would never. If I was I would say this, if I was mentoring anyone, employee engagement is never a direction I tell them to take. Never one that I offer. Never, never, never. So that everything that you're doing is good stuff. Like this isn't pushing when you're talking about FMLA, when you're talking about updating that information, most times your information in your HRIS goes to so many places. Not only does it go to payroll, it goes to the hiring managers when they need to. If you got the right HRIS, it goes to the employees so they can stay up on what they need to do. It goes to your benefit carrier so it affects your benefits and what's coming out of your paycheck. It helps people to be able to call out for work emergency when they need to. It helps people to change their benefits for qualifying event. It helps in too many ways. So again, I'm sorry, Crystal. Maybe you ain't like HR, friend. Onboarding, I can get that. That can become redundant, yeah. But FMLA is always a quirky area. But I always felt like this is where I'm truly helping employees. Like most times when people come for FMLA, they're either pregnant or in a real rough situation, and they're relieved by seeing you help with this. Maybe it's that you need to try out a different company and see how these things work different. But I don't. As 13 years in my career, and I never take updating personal information like lightly. Never, 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 never. That's too important. Just think about it this way: Trump just fired all those people in the feds, right? And he realized, oh shit, I need some of them back. Now he go talking about he looking for 180 employees because they left and he don't have their contact information. Why not? This information should always be updated. Somebody should have been on top of it. So you can always contact them. So this is scary because if this person had died at work, now you laid them off and you're trying to get them to come back. This person had died at work. How are you going to contact their family? to let them know that their loved one died. I don't take that updating information lightly. My bad. I'm preaching. My bad. All right, let me keep going because y'all talking up in the chat, y'all. Employment law. Okay. Okay. So, and you weren't an attorney? Did you work at like an attorney's office? You want to, well, that's not really a pivot, Brandy. You just kind of expanding your career. That's still a part of your career plan. That's still a part of your career strategy. If you work in employment law and you want to work in HR, that is not a pivot. Hello, what's up, Ernest in Dallas? Mighty Zane, what's going on? You stay coming back. What are your thoughts on the current HR job market, and what is your projection of the HR job market over the next 5 years? What fields within HR do you see booming? All right, so my first feeling on the current job market is that we are being forced to network. People think, oh, it's hard to find a job. You can't find a job. It's difficult. No, people are more strategic about who they hire, because the first thing is a lot of companies are doing layoffs and it could eventually hit HR. A lot of companies are doing more dynamic and new stuff. You're seeing severance packages go out like never before. You're seeing layoffs like never before. You're seeing aggressive hiring in targeted areas like you've never seen before. They want people that come in and actually know what they're doing, or actually got the work ethic to figure it out and truly come in there and work. So a lot of people, and it's been this way for a long time, but even worse now, a lot of HR departments are not posting positions they really need. They're going off the network. They're going off of secluded areas. They're going out into LinkedIn and finding these targeted candidates because they don't want to get an influx. Every time you post an HR position, long as I've been working in HR 13 years, every time we post an HR position, it's almost like an admin position. Child, we would have, there have been times I've posted several times, I've posted an HR position on Friday, and by Monday, I got 500, 1,000, 1,500 applicants. I post an engineer position, I'm begging for 2 by Monday. So it's super duper aggressive, and people get upset. I never hear back. They ghost me. They ain't even send me an email. I ain't even get a canned email. These people ain't talking to you. It's overwhelming, especially when you hire inexperienced people into certain areas in HR, per se, TA, or recruitment, and they think, oh, I ain't replying to all these people. Why do I need to tell them we already hired for that job? No, you want people that gonna come in and give a reply. You want people that know how to do a termination. You want people that have emotional intelligence and know how to be gentle as you're laying people off. You want people to think outside of the box. What can I give these employees even though I'm separating them? So I just feel like networking is forcing us to network. Everybody ain't got to be a goddamn bestie, but get out there and show your face, shine your teeth, and ask some folks, hey, y'all got any jobs open? And keep that resume up to par, because that's the first thing they're going to ask you for. So I just feel like it's hard because, one, people are scared to let people go because they ain't guaranteed a backfill. 2, some people truly getting laid off along with other companies, the employees. And 3, when they get an open position, their team might be shorter, or they got a higher workload. I mean, smaller, or they got a higher workload, and they hands down like, I need the best candidate or the best personality to become the best candidate. So that's my idea on the job market right now. I feel like y'all need to come up with a career strategy. Stop going out there and just throwing spaghetti to the wall and seeing if it sticks. Like, sit down, track these jobs you apply to. Don't pick up the phone and be like, who's this? What job was this? That's the worst thing you can tell a recruiter. Hands down. We might still interview you and still be like, nah, this person didn't even know who I met. Please do not come back when y'all negotiate with these crazy ass high ball numbers. You know, I'm an HR assistant and I want 6 figures, because people be killing me with that. Like, I have it on my blog, links in the whole compensation section to tell you what salaries to look for. Before y'all even look at my blog, do your damn budget. How much money do you need? Everybody want to go out of town. Everybody want to drive a Lexus, a Range Rover. Child, do you need it? Because I think that Toyota going to work fine. You know what I'm saying? Pay down some of them debts. You know, if you can't afford to buy all them bundles right now, it's cool. Go get away from the hair store for $35, $50. Wear that so you can get that money right. Once you know your budget, now you know what salary you're looking for. And when you got that resume right and you know your resume, you got a good way of explaining your experience, being confident in your experience. You know, at the end of the day, I've seen so many times people get hired over confidence more than anything. And come in here with personality. And when you negotiate that offer, like, come back with a real number. If I offer you 70,000, please don't come back to me talking about you want 120. That sounds bananas. That sounds bananas. Be real about your numbers. I always say don't go no higher than $10,000 to $20,000 above the offer that they want, that they give you, and make sure that that number in the middle is the one you want. But how you gonna make sure it's the one you want if you don't even know how much you gotta spend? If that budget looks funny, get rid of some stuff. I am in a lot of HR groups and they've grown over time that I've been in them. But I'm in this credit group, and child, when I tell you that thing is massive, that's a massive group. So many people working on their damn credit. Get that kind of stuff straight. Because now you ain't looking at the dollars. You're looking at truly what you can get and truly growing your career versus being like, they ain't paying me what I want. Anyhow, sorry, I'm venting again. So the next thing you wanted to know was the projection of the HR job market over the next 5 years. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sitting back and watching. I was not, I knew Trump was going to come in and act a fool. I know that man was going to go fool like that. So I will feel like right now, HR is a place for this year. HR is a place where you just need to show up and do your work and show your value, because I feel like if a company says it or not, they're evaluating that department, or they're going to make some changes that you might not like. You got to have that emotional intelligence, that confidence, that professionalism, know how to handle it. Because I think in the next year or two, we'll see how this goes. If these executive orders stick or not, then there's going to be a lot of changes in HR, which is going to make the job market even higher, because now they're going to want people that know how to implement these changes. What all do we change? You know, if we get rid of EEO, there are parts of the HRS we got to change. There are forms we got to change. There's an employee manual we got to change. There are policies we got to change. You know, there's contracts we got to change. There's contracts we got to get out of. There's RFPs we got to start. There, because we might have an attorney that doesn't know how to help us with making these changes. There are a lot of changes that's going to go in place with a lot of things, particularly that EEO. And so I think the next 5 years is going to be dynamic as hell. Does that mean you starting your career, you can't get in? Yes. I mean, no, that doesn't mean it. But does that mean I'm gonna have to come in and humble my ass so I can learn some shit? Yeah, absolutely. Don't come in there like a know-it-all. I'm gonna tell y'all hands down, if I go back into the workplace, because if you're new here, I was working as an HR BP and I resigned from my position back in December. And then I had surgery and stuff like that. So anyhow, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. If I go back into the workplace, you know, this year or what have you, in the next 3 months or whatever, I ain't going in there like a know-it-all, because things are going to be so rapidly changing over the next 5 years. A lot's going to change. I mean, I'm kind of excited for 5 years from now, because that means we made it through this 4 years. So I think that we're going to see like an even plateau when we get to kind of 5 years. We'll see kind of things affecting HR calm down. So what fields within HR do you see booming? How do you mean fields? Do you mean industries? Because field is like, I immediately take that as a career field. Human resources is a career field. Retail is a career. Human resources is a career field. But if you say industries, like retail is an industry, you got automotive, that's the industry, you got tech, that's the industry, healthcare, that's the industry. And so what fields within HR do I see booming? That's a good question. In 5 years, I think in 5 years, we're going to see a turnaround with technology, because as bad as it's gotten hit, I think people are going to work out the kinks and they're going to rehire in technology, because everybody's using technology for everything. So I think that's going to start coming back on an incline to some degree. Not a massive incline, but I do think it's going to come back on an incline. And then I also feel like there's going to be a lot of smaller businesses that's going to start hiring HR. So I think, you know, you got to kind of think through what your career path may look like, because smaller businesses value all their employees a little bit more. And you might see somebody pay HR manager $150,000. You might go to a tech company and see an HR BP at 120, because they value you. They rely on you. They rely on your expertise. So those are the biggest things. Okay, let me keep going. I was vibing with the crystal for the need of running after a purpose. Oh, got you, Brandy. Okay, y'all been running for a purpose. Okay, because I'm like, y'all confusing me about this admin stuff. What advice would you give a new HR director? The first thing I would tell you is come in and watch. Like, don't come in with a massive change of I want to change this, I want to change that, unless your CEO is pounding on you to change particulars that they probably talked about in an interview. So the first thing I would say is kind of get used to what's there. Get used to the processes, who's the point of contacts, things like that. And you want to make note of what's right, what's wrong, or what can be improved or what's doing really well. And then you also want to get comfortable with your team. If that's employees reporting under you, if that's your colleagues next to you, if that's who you report to, you should get used to all of them because you're gonna need them. And then the next thing I would say is get people undervalue this, but if you're a brand new HR director, like get someone you can use as a mentor. It doesn't have to be an official relationship, but get somebody you can bounce some ideas off. Get a solid network. When I first became an HR manager, HR director, well, I became a manager before a director, but when I first became an HR manager, I had to call so many people I worked with throughout my career. Like people I had worked with for a long time. Hey girl, I got a question about OSHA. You know what? So and so helped me with this at this last job. I reached out to them for help. I had questions about benefits and benefit contracts. I reached out to my account manager. I had questions about RFPs for benefits. I reach out to my old brokers. Like, get comfortable and reach out to people for help, and don't rely on them HR groups for things you need true help for right then, because everybody experience ain't the same. You want to use that to bounce some ideas off, but you really want to grow a network. And before you start making changes, create a timeline, create a plan, share that with your team, see what they think, make some edits if you need to, and then start sharing that with the executives and getting their buy-in before you start making changes. So those are the biggest things I say. I hope that's helpful. Hello, Raquel. Man, I want to go to Charlotte, but child, we shall see. All right, Lord, I need to catch up. All righty. Let me put on my glasses again. Oh, love you too, Jerry. Girl, I just be being my damn self. You welcome, Brandy. Yeah, Latrell, me too. Latrell, Miss Hayes, Mr. Hayes, employee engagement ain't my thing, child. I'm not for a whole position. I like employee engagement, but a whole employee engagement person, if we ain't got thousands and thousands of employees, please don't hire that person in my department. I would not hire. Like, when I say thousands and thousands, I mean we got 5, 10, 15,000 employees. We ain't got that. I'm not hiring no dedicated person for employee engagement. I find a lot of those jobs that they got tied with labor relations, which I like. Yeah, labor relations cool. Every job need to know labor relations besides like entry level positions. So you're gonna always find that if they post that on job description or not. And just partner with your attorney now because we ain't no attorney. Got it. What about professional development succession planner? What about it, Crystal? What about professional development and succession planning? I'm sorry, Brandy, but I think of them as a party planner friend. Oh gosh, I love being an HRBP too. Uh-oh. You just took the bar, so Brandy, you really are an attorney? Education different, Crystal. That's all you had to say to begin with. Girl, yeah, I got a girlfriend that works in education. I know a few people. I've got a few girlfriends that work in education, HR and education. And child, I ain't hear nothing good. And luckily, you just got 1,700. I got one girlfriend that works for a county here, and she has 10,000 employees. She says she fluctuates between 9,000 to 12,000. With some positions, part-time positions and stuff. But yeah, because the education levels are different when you work with the employees, so it's hard to come up with one process or one source. You do a lot of repeating. Things don't change that quick, so you be doing redundant stuff. They really come up with their own acronyms. So now you like trying to learn a whole new level of HR that you only gonna know there. Yeah, it's too much. Um, Going with an energy company is good, Brandy. I ain't gonna lie. That feels like career growth. I'm trying to think of who I know. Oh yeah, I know somebody that worked for energy. She was a VP there. Everybody will go out of town. Okay, don't get me back on that. See? Oh, thank you, Fragile Flower. I appreciate it. I tried. I kept feeling like my wig was too big, but I had to talk about it because it did well for the photo shoot. But I really wanted to test out my daughter. My daughter makes wigs from time to time, but she used to just make it for herself. But she did my girlfriend wig, and then I was like, "You mind doing mine?" And I just felt like I ain't taking care of it right. And she was like, "Mama, I ever did one like that, so I got this." She's going through all the flaws, so Sometimes I see the flaws, sometimes I don't. But for the most part, I love it. So thank you so much for that confirmation. I hope she sees this so she'll know. But thank you. And I toss on some makeup, child. I appreciate it. Yeah. April. April said, is it a bad time to go from HR benefits to HR assistant? That's going backwards, April. Because benefits is a specialist position. Assistant is normally a number one. I wouldn't go backwards. 9 times out of 10, the pay is going to be lower. And if it's not lower, then I would take a gamble on it so I can get access to all parts of HR. But I get out of there quick. A year to 2 years, I'd be out of that role. Yeah, and then I go to something higher because if you already did HR benefits and HR assistant, now you go to generalist, right? So, I mean, but that depends on what you did before you were HR benefits, right? You got this, Brandy. You got this bar exam, and you gotta like let us know the update. Um, yeah, you got to get our education, Crystal. That's a different beast, and it's not hard. Honestly, I wouldn't even tell you get career mentoring with me. I think if I just look at your resume and go through that, you'll be fine to get a job. Because most times we kind of get stuck with that lingo. We don't show transformation because we feel like the job is redundant. When in actuality, we've had transformation. I've done too many education resumes for HR where I see all the same stuff. So if you want, resume review is there. It's open. It's an open service now. I can help you out because you always, this is the thing, you always want to look for a job when you need a job. Right now, you just feel like I don't want to do this no more, but they ain't fired you. They didn't lay you off. So it's best to always look for a job before you actually need a job because you think clear. You create more of a strategy versus a job hunt. You think through your value better. You prepare for interviews better. You do a more strategic job search versus just whatever email you get from Indeed for the week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. All right. So I would say do that now and start looking. So and give yourself a timeline. And if you're not seeing, changes in that timeline, right? So let's say you ain't get no interviews because the stats have said this for years, and it's continued to be a repetitive stat that when you start applying, you should get you should hear back from a job in some aspect, if that's a screening, an interview, an email reply, whatever, within your first 30 days, right? And then you should have a job offer within 90 days. So I would say, okay, if I ain't getting that in 30 days, then I would start changing what I'm doing. So that's why I say track your job so you can see, like, where did I apply to? What was the job? What was going on? What job board did I find it? And you can start making changes like that. No saying I no saying I don't do them every Wednesdays. If y'all think I should do these every Wednesday, then give me a one in the chat. I mean, I'm down for the cause. I just know next Wednesday I'll be in Atlanta, so I won't be going live. But we can start that after. Okay, hold on. This thing trying to make me click on stuff. No, I'm so happy you find a value out of it though. And after 14 years in education, I work for a wonderful company, but I'm not getting valuable experience at that can make me marketable. Well, well, I need more information on that. I'm sorry you're going through that, BB, but honestly, sometimes we don't realize that some experience we have is valuable. We get redundant roles and then we think, what am I learning? Or maybe we didn't hit the part we're looking for. But and just give yourself some grace because you've been doing education for 14 years and you're in a whole different realm. And you probably took on a job that you're like, okay, good. I'm so happy I got this job because I just wanted to get out of HR. Maybe this ain't the place for you or not the position for you, or maybe you need to have a conversation with your leadership to talk about what you expect out of your career. But before you go have that conversation, truly think to yourself, what do I want out of my career? And if you ask me at any time, what do I want out of my career? I want to reach my goals. Tamika, what are your goals? My goal is to break generational curses and build generational wealth. So for me, some generational curses was seeing my family exhausted every time and talking bad about work. Yeah, girl, I got to go to work tomorrow. I wanted to be happy about my job. I also wanted to get a job that not only paid me my minimum, but also paid me like what I could do to grow financially, right? And what I could, have a work-life balance. My girl Sonia, she liked to say work harmony. Like I looked at those things. What brings me those things? When I realized what brought me those things, then I can understand what I wanted. because it didn't come down to just a title. It should never come down to just a title, y'all. Y'all job search should never come down to just a title. At the end of the day, you need to be looking at what's the salary look like? What's the location? What's the work type? Is this a job that I'm going to work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, or is this one where I'm going to have a flexible schedule? Is this one where I'm going to work hybrid? Is this one that gives me an opportunity to travel? Y'all, I had always only been on the East Coast until I started growing my career. The more I grew my career, the more trips I went on. Most of my travel experience or my exposure to travel came from my career. I didn't think about travel because I didn't think that was a big thing. It wasn't possible. I didn't see much of it. Now it's a part of my life. I build that into what does my budget look like? And now this is what not only my budget look like, but my salary requirements, right? Now I kind of look at, you know, how aggressive am I on using these cards and paying them back, things like that. All of those things pay into the value I get from a job. I'm never going to settle myself to just being like, I want to work at this company for this title. No, it's a mutual reciprocity. They getting value out me. I'm getting value out them. Stop marrying these jobs and letting them treat y'all like side pieces. So like, you know, there are many factors where you're probably not getting value, BB. So I wouldn't say, well, maybe HR ain't for me. I would kind of look at what do I want? What attracted me to it after 14 years in education? Was I just exhausted with education? And I went to the HR person and thought, oh man, that looked like a cute job. Like you look like you're chilling all day and I want to do that. Like kind of think through what that looks like for you. That help you really kind of make your plan. Okay, got you. Oh shit, y'all want me to do this every Wednesday? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. I'm a skim through. Okay. Mid-career, and I'm trying to get my foot in the door of HR. What branch of HR would be the best to learn the most, but receive above entry pay salary? I graduated me currently. Let me be clear, Tanya. That never depends on just like one position. We have a billion companies out here. Entry level doesn't look the same everywhere. Plus, sometimes we have experience and we think we need entry level when in actuality we go above. So like it's hard for me to answer that question without looking at your resume. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like people send me emails and DMs all day long with that, especially on LinkedIn. I can never answer that question without looking at your resume. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't send me your resume unless you're doing a resume review. If you're gonna resume review, career mentoring, something, because I used to do resume. First of all, I got too much on my plate. But second of all, I remember when I first started, I was so eager about helping people that I would review these resumes, give back feedback and from detailed feedback in these emails, never hear from these people again. Don't get a subscribe, don't get a damn like, don't get a share, don't get a shout out on LinkedIn, don't get a recommendation, don't get a damn thank you. So I don't just review resumes. Secondly, I get too many of them. Thirdly, I got the services for y'all and the buy now, pay later options, child. What else you want me to do? Mutual reciprocity, right? Okay, all right. Let me keep going. Uh, I'm gonna give the y'all. It's too many people out here. I am so grateful to say this. I'm not saying this in a cocky way. God is amazing. There's too many people out here living really good lives from results from Heyyy HR. I done shown you what value I can give you. Now I'm supposed to still give you more? Okay, there we go. All right, I stopped. I have the opportunity to propose. I want to take my role, but I'm really not sure. Yeah, because BB, you ain't think through it yet. No, you ain't sure. You ain't think through it yet. Because you just said, oh, I'm not getting value out of it. Otherwise, you would have said, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this. You ain't sure yet. And maybe this is where you can talk to someone that's more seasoned in the HR. Maybe this is where you can talk to your director, see where the department's going, what are the opportunities, where does she see your value, he or she see your value, and then kind of test something else to kind of critique a plan, right? I've done 2 rotations in an HR development program in manufacturing. Great God. Now, let me tell you something. That manufacturing, that ain't nothing to play with. We got a BB and a DB. Okay. I'm thinking about my next one. I'm considering early talent development. What can you share about the role working for a big company? I'm going to tell you that talent development, I hope this is what you mean, because this is what it is. Talent development is training. And very few companies have training. And no company that has, I'll say training in HR. Very few companies have training designated to HR. A lot of times training is either by department, by business units, by verticals, or literally handled by a whole nother department, right? That handles all the training for everyone. That's a position that I feel I've seen, not I feel, but I've seen over the years fluctuate. Literally, I sat at one company and seen the training go from one department to the next to the next. I feel like that gives career instability. But I do feel like a lot of companies do talent development. But is all your experience in manufacturing? Because if it is, then training's going to look a lot different. Do you want to just train in manufacturing, or you want to just do talent development everywhere? Because talent development and manufacturing, like manufacturing is on like an island by itself. I ain't hear nobody talk about manufacturing and in conjunction with all HR. Everybody always be like, either people absolutely love manufacturing or they absolutely hate it. And manufacturing is one part of HR or one career field industry in HR that is totally, you love it or you hate it. Manufacturing can take you through some times, child. I would not ever work in manufacturing. I pray not. I've gotten a job offer or two in manufacturing, I think two. But I run from it every time. I'm like, no, man, I don't work like a slave, child. All right. I'm new. Okay, Crystal, sounds good. I'm gonna look out for you. I'm new to HR, interested in recruiting. I can use much help from the right people. Thank you so much for hosting these meetings, Tamika. Not meetings, they're supposed to be like fun, relaxed time, Ernest. But you're so welcome. What up, Riley? Welcome to the game. What's going on? So nice to see you. I like that you always coming with the eyeball. Oh goodness, y'all! I absolutely adore Riley. I'm not shouting him out and saying nobody else good as him, but Riley's been on the Heyyy HR train or whatever you want to call it for a long time. I think we were back at 500, 1,000 subscribers when Riley came along. And he is absolutely amazing. He has done a pretty aggressive career, worked as an HR director, worked for tech startups. Like he has a ton of experience. So if y'all see Riley comment in this chat, I have not seen him put a comment yet that I don't agree with. I have not. In what, 3-4 years, I have not seen him do a comment yet that I'm like, hold up, Riley. No, sometimes I ask him for clarity because y'all putting comments, but for the most part, y'all see Riley respond, you definitely want to like take that as good information. That's your networking, child. All right. I know, right? We so happy for Tanya. Sounds good, Brandy. That sounds good. That sounds good because then I can get it done before I go to Atlanta. My company keeps promising to convert me into a full-time employee. However, when the question comes up again, they keep saying they cannot convert me now due to the budget. It's time for me to find a new job. Absolutely, because too many people get promises, either converting a full-time or, starting their HR career, going from one part of the company in the HR or letting them grow their career. When them companies promise shit to y'all, most times they lying. Because if they like you, I've seen too many people go to bat for positions we've never had, or go for a head count that we didn't even know we need because they want this person work for. They want you, they gonna move, and they gonna move in silence, and they gonna move fast. When they're taking their time like that, either you got to make two decisions: am I gonna stay in this broken ass relationship, or am I gonna be searching for another job while I'm sitting here still getting my bills paid? You got to make up your mind. But I'm happy I had to tell you, child. Find another job, babe. Okay. Do we just submit one resume or two? I have one with a professional summary and then one without. One resume. One resume. That's it. And just keep in mind that when you submit the one, because I ain't gonna go over two resumes just for a summary difference. I don't go over two resumes, period. Just give me one, your best one, your latest one, whatever. I would say it, if you wanted to include the summary, I mean the summary is the only difference. So just send the one with the summary. All right. Alrighty, I'm going to pay on Friday. My company gives. Uh-huh. Well, no, Mr. Hayes, you ain't correct me. I don't think hospitals are the worst. It depends on the hospital. It depends, in my opinion, it depends on if it's a public hospital or a private hospital. Like if it's privately owned or is it one that's being funded in some type of way. There's a big difference between the two. Not all hospitals are the same. No. Some of them, like there's one hospital where I went through several interviews with them, and my heart was like, I was like, Oh no, they didn't say no to me. They just had to pause on the roll, and when they came back later, I had already found another position. But my heart was broken, and the crazy thing is, I live in Charleston, and that position was in Orangeburg, and I was willing to drive an hour to work on the interstate, for that opportunity because and it was completely different from when I worked at MUSC, this big hospital that's here. I will not ever work at. That's not ever my plan to work at MUSC. They're strict on the budget. They don't give the regular employees no money. They go by a pay chart. I feel like there's more we can, and the pay chart is tight and it's low. Mm-mm. The salaries are low, but there was a lot of growth with that other hospital. I was going to go into a HRBP role there, and I didn't even think I could find one in South Carolina. But anyhow, not all hospitals are the same. I have friends. Well, I say colleagues, not really friends, but I have some colleagues that work in HR and hospitals, and they love it. Like they do. And some of the things they tell me, I'm like jealous. So not all are the same. So y'all want me to go live every Wednesday? Okay, child. We're gonna try this for a little bit. Y'all stop showing up. I'm gonna stop showing up. This is mutual reciprocity, child. All right. So 36 of y'all out there. Am I missing something? Let me look on my phone because maybe it's not refreshing for me because I'm on the live. But I'm gonna see how many of y'all like this live because y'all tell me y'all getting value. Y'all want me to show up every Wednesday and all of this stuff. But child, I ain't seeing no likes. I'm a little nervous. I'm just a tad bit nervous. Okay, I'm seeing 24, but 37 of y'all in here. Help me out now. Hit that like button. Otherwise YouTube be acting shady. We don't ask y'all to do that just because YouTube acts shady if y'all don't do likes. But y'all commenting, so that's really helpful. You so welcome, Crystal. I appreciate you. Miss Hayes, got it. Got it. All right, got it. Hey, Rashawn. California. What part of California? Yeah, Miss Hayes, that's the first sign you won't be at no company. That ain't got nothing to do with a hospital. Turnover is turnover. It happens in any company. It can happen. I mean, it happened for me in some of the most prestigious industries that I worked in. It's usually the company that causes high turnover or the workload or the lack of support, things like that. The turnover can happen anywhere and that's no impact on the industry. No impact on the industry. The only industry that I would say there's some industries, very few industries that I think always just shows high turnover. And for me, that's manufacturing, that's call centers, um, that's like fast food. Those places expected to have high turnovers, right? Now retail stores, even grocery stores, like these things are expected to have high turnover. But beyond that, other companies, not all of them, especially a hospital, that's that hospital. Because most hospitals don't have no high turnover. Then people get in there and they live. If that's a private or a public, people get in there and live. My title is an employee engagement training coordinator. What happened? And the title is not what I'm doing. So it's so far it's been all on board. Because child, the title wrong. That didn't even know title. They just like going ahead and throw a recipe together. Let me tell you, my mama had given me like a whole bunch of onions and she had given me like all kind of stuff mama had get. I don't know where mama got it from the holidays, but I had too much of it. I live here alone, right? So I had all this food. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna chop all these vegetables up. Now I throw them things in everything. That's what he did with your job title. Just grab that and throw that together because I never heard no employee engagement training coordinator child. You're doing employee engagement or training. And meanwhile you're doing onboarding. My lord. Oh, talking about live every Wednesday. Okay, you want to work for USC? What's USC? You in South Carolina or California? Ah, y'all got me on a roll. Plus, don't forget I done had a drink. That's why I used to do happy hour with Heyyy HR because I get some drinks. You almost can't get me to stop because I love HR probably. Oh, thank you, Sam. Rashawn and Brandy, that's when y'all use networking. Some of the things that y'all can do, if you like, I'm gonna want to work at this place for a long time and ain't biting. Then what you do is that's when you go to LinkedIn, you look up the company, you go to their company page, you go to the people section, and then you start seeing all the people that work there. Just start hitting connect, 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 connect. Start seeing what they post. Go to their out and look to the post section. When was the last time that they post? You want to connect with them people that either post on a regular basis or they posted recently. I would first start with the HR director, anybody on the HR team, but especially the recruitment team. And then I would send them like a brief little resume and say, particularly after I apply, or if I just recently did an application recently, right? I would just send like a quick little 3-liner. Hey, so and so, I'm so excited to work at. I'm so excited about USC. I absolutely adore what you guys do, and I would love to be a part of the team. I've applied for the such and such position on this particular date, and just as a reference, here's my resume. Can you please let me know if that position is still open or if you have anything that fits my skills? Just that easy. Don't go in there with no long scenario. Y'all be coming in with the 5 and 6 paragraph, writing a whole biology and a whole monologue. Don't do that, child. Ain't nobody can read them things. Keep it short, quick, brief. Throw that resume in there. Make sure that resume 2 pages or smaller. And holler at somebody at USC and see what happens. Let me tell y'all, that's how the people who don't look like us be getting these jobs. They go the extra mile. Crazy thing about it is more so than them folks, the most aggressive folks that I've worked with that go hard for a job is folks in India. They don't even sleep till they get one child. They off the chain. And meanwhile, we sitting back like, girl, yeah, I applied to 5 jobs in the last 6 years and nobody be hiring. It's hard to find a job. Well, hell, you ain't applying. And then when we like, oh, but Tamika, I can tell you, I applied to 30 jobs a day, every day for the last 2 weeks. Then you just throwing shit out there. What's your strategy? What you doing? Anything pop up, you just throwing your name in there? Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm all the way on something else. Y'all got to stop just sitting around. Us as Americans, we are. My friend from Africa, well, my old coworker from Africa, he used to always say, "You spoiled Americans." We used to always laugh about that because he was so serious. And now that I've got more experience, I've matured, I've traveled, we spoiled. I've worked in a global company. Like, we spoiled. We are spoiled. We're the most complaining damn country. And we do the least work. The people who do that extra work, they get the job and be having less experience than y'all. Like, y'all got to be more focused. Stop getting people in your ear who talking negative. Negative Nancy. Girl, no, the industry hard, girl. They ain't nobody hiring, girl. Da, da, da. People say that to me and I go harder. And I close my mouth. You ain't got to tell everybody everything you're doing. Especially negative Nancy people. Keep your circle tight. Keep it with your positive people. Then people be calling you with other stuff. My cousin knows that I'm not working. Sent me like 3 different opportunities that I'm able to like keep consistent income until Heyyy HR gets the consistent income because my Heyyy HR goes up and down. Listen, if he didn't know what I was going through, if he wasn't positive, you think he would ever put me out there like that? Some of the stuff he give me, I ain't never did, or I did for I'm sorry, part of something else. Y'all got to stop now. When you think positive, when you manifest, when you trust the Lord. I don't know if all y'all love the Lord and HR. I try not to talk about the law, but we on HR. That's my channel. You trust the Lord. You ask him for guidance. You ask him for resilience. You ask him for strength. You ask him to prepare you for your next step. He will do just that. He's done it for me, y'all. I don't know, for y'all who are new here, this man, I like to just say God. The Lord saved my life 3 times. 3 times. That's 3 times I shared with y'all. Really 4, but I ain't gonna talk about the 4th one. But 3 times from one person in less than 30 days. I literally had a gun to my head. This dude played Russian roulette, had 1 bullet in there and pulled the trigger 2 times. When I finally get him to come to his senses and open the gun, the next round was the bullet. The Lord saved my life. If he can do that, he can find you an old damn job that just gonna pay you what you need and go home. Now it's up to you to do your work because faith without work is dead. We really got to stop coming out here and being like, but I can't do this. I can't do that. Why can't you? What have you looked at? What have you focused on? What have you been doing? What have you evaluated? What have you analyzed? Analyze yourself, analyze your actions, analyze what you're doing. And sometimes we got to change some shit. All right, I'm sorry. Stuck doing the onboarding. Yeah, BB and Rashawn, y'all on one. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Yeah. Ernest, what do you think about HR recruiting within the trucking industry? What do you think about HR recruiting within the trucking industry? Ernest, that's very, 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 very skim. I think you're going to have a hard time finding any opportunity with that, or you're going to find very little. They're going to come far and in between because truckers are I-9 folks, and typically you don't hire a bunch of overhead folks. You normally have some folks running the company, doing some admin work, your payroll, and your dispatching. You really don't have a big team. And most times they already work with so many truckers, and truckers refer other people, and they just holler at them and be like, come on in. Now, if you want to work for a trucking company that has employees as employees, that may be a good area. The only thing is, keep in mind that if you do that, you know trucking, you don't know recruitment, right? So you're gonna still have to kind of surround yourself with some HR folks. You're gonna still have to learn that HR basic stuff. I got some HR playlists, some recruiting playlists on my YouTube channel. Go to that and let it rip. See if there's something you want to do because those are two different areas. But as a trucker, what were you doing? Like, were you constantly by yourself, or were you mixing and mingling? Because recruitment is gonna require a bunch of mixing and mingling between going to events, talking to people online. You know, recruitment is very, very in people's face on a regular basis. If that's on the phone, if that's in video, if that's email, like it's a lot of people interaction. So kind of think about that too. Oh, Southern California, yeah, that's a big school. So still going there, they're gonna have a whole page on LinkedIn. Dive in, go to their website, see what it look like. Go to their Glassdoor and see what people say about the HR department because they might not be the best. You know, I don't know. I would think that they are though. um What you looking for more on Brandy? LinkedIn? Just put your link in there if you want, if you feel okay with it. Girl, don't get me started, Brandy. Thank you, Miss Brandy. I love just 20 minutes away. Oh man, you only live 20 minutes from the school? Yeah, you just gotta do a little pivot, Rashawn. That'd be nice. Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, y'all got me preaching. Pass the collection pan. I didn't give y'all a few words. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I got on here I don't know when I got on here. It's been a little while. But I've been on here for a while, so I'm gonna get off, but I wanted to go through. I wanted to tell y'all one more thing. I don't know how I missed this. Probably because I went to talk about the formulas and the laws. There's only one thing on my list I didn't talk about. And the last thing is that a lot of people are like, can I use the current notes for the new year? Every year, the notes goes from May to May. So the 2024-2025 notes, you can use that material up until May. I always say give yourself, about 2 months or so at minimum to study for the next exam. So if you're like, my exam's gonna be in May, now you literally have like a little bit under 2 months. But we getting past that time frame, so you should just be buying the new notes, to be honest with you. So I did a video about the changes. I'm gonna edit that top of the morning, and then I'm going to put that out on the YouTube channel tomorrow, so y'all can have that. So y'all gonna know what the changes are. That's very minimal. If you ask me every year, I always say you can use the previous year's notes because it's so minimal that change. Now next year, I'm concerned that we wouldn't be able to use the previous year's notes because we don't know which executive orders that Trump done sign is going to actually stick, right? So there might be a lot of changes. The last thing I also wanted to say was get on my email list if y'all want to know. I heard y'all talking about the resume reviews. I heard y'all talking about career mentoring. If you want to know when career mentoring opens, get on my email list. The link is already in the top of the description box now. And then I do have a YouTube membership. And with that membership, now that I've recovered from surgery, I have to do the conference next week. And then I'm going to go live there more often. So y'all asking me for weekly. We're going to see how this goes. But the membership's going to definitely get it every month. And my plan is to go live for them 2-3 times a week. The second thing is they also get dedicated videos. They get dedicated posts. They get all the luxuries that the email list gets, even if they're not on the email list. And then one thing that I want to start doing later is just going live for them, but I'm gonna start putting Zoom links inside the membership, and I only would do that in the membership because so many spam bots on YouTube. But I'm gonna send Zoom links so they can get on and talk to me back and forth versus the chat. So it's gonna be some fire ass benefits with the membership that's coming. They already got some exclusive videos over there. They got some exclusive posts, things like that. But I've been recovering from surgery, so I have not been the best over there. But they've been so amazing. So we're gonna keep going. Y'all so welcome. Get back to that list, child. Y'all are so welcome. I love them too. Every time I get on, I'm like, I need to go back to doing that more. I used to, and then I got burnt out. Thank you for updating my subscription to get notifications. I hope it, yep, hit the bell. Thank you so much, BB. And if any of y'all in Atlanta, which it looks like nobody is, then roll on me. I done send the information. I have it posted on LinkedIn. I have sent out emails about it. Roll on me. This is gonna be a fire conference. I'm super excited. I was jealous I didn't go last year. I was doing the speaking engagement in Hawaii, so I couldn't go. So I'm so damn excited to go. But anyhow, I'm not gonna hold you. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. I appreciate y'all showing up. I appreciate y'all coming in the chat. I can't wait to hear these updates as we go over time. So many times when I go live on a consistent basis, people come back in and give constant updates of how they've had career success. So I'm looking forward to it. Until the next time, y'all have a good night. Peace. Okay, we getting off of here, y'all. All righty.